Do you ever find that the hardest part of a sales call is just getting it started, is getting through that initial pushback? One of my mentors used to always say that if you start strong, you end strong. So the first 20 seconds of any sales call are some of the most important moments in that sales call. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to start a sales call in 5 easy steps. Check it out. Number 1, open with distinction. Let's just put ourselves for a second in our prospect's shoes. And they're sitting at their desk and they suddenly pick up the phone. Maybe accidentally they thought it was going to be their wife or their husband calling, and instead they get, "Hey George, Mark Waishak here, how are you doing today?" The prospect immediately recognizes what? That they're talking to a salesperson, because that salesperson has used a super duper salesy approach that is immediately telling the prospect that I am a salesperson and I'm going to try to sell you some stuff. So instead what we want to do is do the complete opposite of what the prospect expects. So that means dropping things like, "Hey, how are you today?" and dropping that super excited, enthusiastic sales voice, and instead be actually, quite frankly, pretty low key and use an approach to open the conversation that is not, "Hey, how are you today?" but instead is going to break that pattern, is in some ways going to catch them off guard. When we can open with distinction, now we are breaking that pattern, and so they're not necessarily sure, are we a salesperson or are we not? We want to keep them on their toes for the first couple of seconds of that conversation. Number 2, show that you know their world. One of the best ways that we can separate ourselves from the hordes of other salespeople is to demonstrate that we've done our homework. We know their world, we know what's going on. The more you can actually demonstrate that you know what's going on in their world early on in the call, the more likely they are to allow you to continue with the conversation. Let's just say, again, going back to the cheesy salesperson, they're going to follow some lame approach that's really focused on their own company. So they're going to start talking about how great their company is or how great their offering is or something not distinct. So instead what we want to do is start the conversation by focusing on who? Them, right? Show that we know their world and what's going on for them, and they're more likely to say, "Okay, this person knows what they're talking about. I'll give them a few seconds." That's all we need. Number 3, bring insight. So this builds on showing that you know their world, right? So you first demonstrate that you know who they are, what's going on, you've personalized the conversation, but now you're going to bring some insight, because that is really the most powerful tool that any salesperson has. You have talked to hundreds, if not thousands of other people who are close to the exact same place that they are right now. And so the more insight that you can bring from this high level overview, the more likely you are to, again, demonstrate that you have real value to bring. Let's just remember, companies like McKinsey Consulting or Boston Consulting Group or Bain Consulting, these are all companies that charge thousands, if not millions of dollars to companies. And all they're doing is bringing insight to their customers. You as a salesperson can bring insight early on to the conversation, and that is tremendously valuable to the person who is an ideal fit for what you sell. Number 4, share common issues. So much of being able to bring real insight and value to the conversation relies on you demonstrating that you know the common issues that many people in their shoes are facing. This is how we get the prospect to start to open up. So in this conversation, we want to, through the process of demonstrating insight, share some of the common issues or common challenges that we're seeing from this bird's eye view. And then we obviously want to engage them in a conversation around those common issues. When you're making a sales call, it has nothing to do with your product or your service, and everything to do with the common issues that we're seeing and engaging them around those challenges that they are likely facing. This is how we bring real value, get people to open up, and be willing to have a real conversation. Number 5, leverage a kick-ass CTA. What that means is you want to have a kick-ass call to action in your sales calls. Most salespeople, when they are trying to get the prospect to some kind of a next step, it's just, "Hey, let's set up a phone call." And your prospect doesn't want to just have a phone call. They're not dying to talk to a salesperson. They want real real value. And so a kick-ass call to action is something that is of tremendous value that is going to get someone who is a complete stranger to be willing to engage you in a sales conversation. And so your call to action has to be truly high value. What is something that you can offer to them that really is useful to their lives in terms of solving the challenges that they're facing? Something that is just beyond, hey, will you hop on a call with me? Because they don't want to do that. They don't want to get on a call with you. They don't want to get on a call with your boss. They don't want to get on a call with anyone who's trying to sell them. But what they do want is some kind of value that will help them solve those common challenges. And that's what the Kick-Ass CTA is all about. So there is how to start a sales call in 5 easy steps. If you enjoyed this video, then I have an amazing free training on the step-by-step formula to closing more deals. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more deals at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking my face that should be right about here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.